What's good, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. And guys, remember, you can like, you can share, and you can subscribe to the channel. And please remember to hit the notification bell when you do. And also, I call your attention to the Super Thanks feature that is on all of my videos if you want to give to the channel monetarily. Make it rain, baby. Make it rain on ya, boy. But anyway, let's get into the topic of this video, and we're talking about one Mr. Quentin Tarantino, who has some statements that he made recently about the marvelization of Hollywood, okay? And it's rubbed some people the wrong way, including Mr. Simu Liu, who took offense to it. So let's get into first what Mr. Quentin Tarantino had to say, shall we? And I'll be reading from NBCnews.com. And it says here, during an appearance on the podcast, Two Bears, One Cave, not to be confused with Two Girls, One Cup, please don't look it up, the Pulp Fiction director spoke about his ambiance towards Marvel movies and the impact he thinks they're having on the industry. And he goes on to say, they are the entire representation of this era of movies right now, and there's not really much room for anything else, he said. Part of the marvelization of Hollywood is you have all these actors who have become famous playing these characters, but they are not the movie stars. Captain America is the star. Thor is the star. It's these franchise characters that have become the star. Now, you guys can get in the comment section and let me know, just based on that statement alone, whether you feel he's right or wrong in his assessment. Personally, I think he is, and not ironically, I use this to justify my position on the whole recast T'Challa movement because, of course, the character was around long before Chadwick Boseman was born, and of course, he'll be around long after. And I always felt that it was ridiculous that you laid down the character because the very first actor in history that played him passed away. Okay, so that's always been my stance on this, and what Quentin Tarantino is saying makes perfect sense to me. Now, of course, when you look at, I guess, all of the actors that are in the MCU, save Robert Downey Jr., Samuel Jackson, you know, there's a few of them who were well known before they took these roles, but most of them, the role was bigger than the actor when they got in. You know, it's like playing them actually put them on the map. You know what I mean? So I have no problem with this whatsoever. But of course, Simu Liu has taken offense. Somebody's in his fifis over what Quentin Tarantino had to say. Now let's get into what Simu Liu had to say about this. Now it says here, Simu Liu says Tarantino's error in film was white as hell after the director's anti-Marvel comments. Now, what was anti-Marvel about what he said? I think it was just an observation, number one. But then this whole white as hell thing that Simu Liu is saying that Tarantino stands for. Let's think about Quentin Tarantino's movies, shall we? We just mentioned Samuel Jackson. Samuel Jackson is a mainstay in most of Quentin Tarantino's movies. So what are you talking about, Simu? When you look at Jackie Brown, the whole movie is built around Pam Grier's character. Pam Grier, in case you didn't know, is black. She's black. You look at Kill Bill. All right, you had Vivica A. Fox. You had Lucy Liu, no relation to Simu Liu. And also, of course, Uma Thurman played the bride, you know, a woman. So you had a woman lead. You had a prominent black female, prominent Asian female. That sounds pretty diverse to me. So I don't get this whole white as hell thing that this dude is talking about. You know what I mean? But of course, sour grapes, right? So it goes on to say, Simu Liu is speaking up after director Quentin Tarantino criticized the marvelization of Hollywood, saying on a podcast that those who became famous through the superhero franchise are not real movie stars. Now, they could become real movie stars, you know what I mean? But he's just saying these are the roles they're inhabiting. Liu, who gained global notoriety for his titular role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, pushed back on this, saying white directors like Tarantino shouldn't have the only say in who becomes famous. First of all, Tarantino, Scorsese, you know, people like that, they are Italian. Okay, Italian American, Italian, whatever the case may be. Simu Liu might not remember there was a time in America when Italians, like Irish people, were not necessarily considered to be white. Okay, so the point that he's making about his movies being white as hell and them being white and all that stuff, bro, you're pushing against a narrative that doesn't mean shit. Okay, so cut that shit out. I mean, really, it's not a good look, bro. It says here, this is Simu Liu talking. If the only gatekeepers to movie stardom came from Tarantino and Scorsese, I would never have had the opportunity to lead a $400 million plus movie, Liu tweeted, referring to Hollywood director Martin Scorsese. I am in awe of their filmmaking genius. They are transcendent auteurs, but they don't get to point their nose at me or anyone, he says. Woo! Tough words from Simu Liu, but once again, Simu, you're missing the target. And of course, Simu Liu is just being butthurt over this because his whole marketing of that movie involved him running all over the globe talking about how it's me, I'm making history, I'm the one who's breaking down the walls and opening up the doors, it's me, wonderful me, you know what I mean? So now, when faced with the concept that, dude, it's not you, it's these characters, it's what went before you, that is famous. That's the mythology. You're just stepping into it, in much the same way that the point that I made on my last video, where I was talking about as much as I respect the work of Chadwick Boseman and everything, he was stepping into a role. He wasn't making the history. He was becoming a part, an important part, a wonderful part, but a part of the history of the character of Black Panther, the character that should be allowed to go on, in my opinion. Now, when you look at Chadwick Boseman, you realize he actually made his career playing historical figures. He played Thurgood Marshall, he played James Brown, he played Jackie Robinson. I always used to joke if he had lived long enough, he probably would have played Rosa Parks, you know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure because of that mere fact alone that Chadwick Boseman was very comfortable with the idea that he was playing a historical character. He wasn't the historical character. Imagine him saying, yeah, I played Thurgood Marshall. Now, I did such a great job. Nobody else should play Thurgood Marshall. That's it for Thurgood Marshall. Nobody else should play him. I played James Brown. I inhabited him. But that's it. Nobody else should play him. I played Jackie Robinson. It's all about me. Nobody should ever play this role again. I don't think he would ever do that. So how do we fix ourselves to believe that that was the same man who would agree, I played Black Panther, nobody else should play him, I did such a great job, it's all about me? I don't think so, guys. Think about these things. Think, man. It's almost like Jesus. How many actors have played Jesus over the years? If you took Jim Caviezel, who played Jesus, I think most recently, and said, well, Jim Caviezel, he did such a great job playing Jesus. That should be it. There should be no resurrection. And that's the original story of the recast, right? There should be no resurrection for Jesus whatsoever because Jim Caviezel did such a wonderful job. You see how that sounds, bro? But see, this is the point I believe that Quentin Tarantino was making. It's not to point your nose at anybody. It's the mere fact that these characters are legends in their own right, and they were created long before any actor got to play them. So that's basically what you're doing. Now, Quentin Tarantino actually creates memorable, iconic roles. He creates quotable characters. You know what I'm saying? So the actors who get to play them, it's really going to make them a star if they can actually get into that. You know what I mean? If they can actually somehow inhabit that role in the way they interpret that role. And to some degree, you can do that with superhero movies as well. But there's no denying that Spider-Man, Captain America, the Hulk, all of these characters, Superman especially, Batman, these are modern myths. They are the icons. They are the stars. They're absolute stars. When you hear that somebody has been cast as one of these characters, the first thing you ask is, oh, I don't know. I don't know if they'll be able to do this job the right way because the character, the lore means something. Canon means something. Characterization means something. So I don't have a problem with that, guys. And I do feel like it really brings home the point that I was trying to make about Chadwick Boseman and the Black Panther and how the Black Panther should go on and other actors should get their crack at it and things like that. It's just my opinion, and I saw what Quentin Tarantino had to say, and I feel like there it is, guys. It agrees with what I had to say. Simu Liu, that's just a bunch of sour grapes, dude. It's like, get over yourself. You didn't make the history. You became a part of the history. And there it is, guys. So you can get in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about what Quentin Tarantino had to say, how you feel about what Simu Liu had to say, and let me know, guys. Thank you for listening. As always, I will catch you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.